Hello to all the Connexperts out there. Hope you all are having a good week so far. Let's get ready for my first ever Connex build along. This should be pretty interesting. This segment will be featuring my Hummer H1 Alpha, which was essentially my first video for my relaunch here. And there's a couple of things that I noted in that video that I wanted to do. And we're about to get started, or at least attempt 2 or 3 of those today. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how long this is going to be. This should be interesting because all of you all know when it comes to building a lot of these custom models, when you aren't looking at instructions, you're just kind of playing it by eye and really just trying to get an understanding of what it needs to look like based on the functionality. So this has been pretty interesting. So the 2 things that I'm going to work on today will be, I'll go ahead and rotate this to the rear here. I want to do a rear spare tire carrier system that removes it and kind of rotates it out the way. That's going to be pretty interesting. In preparation for this video, I was doing a little bit of research, and it's pretty tough to find, the OEM version. I think I found one video from several years ago on YouTube where someone had it, but there's a lot of variations out there from Predator, Plan B, Mil Spec, a lot of it more Humvee based. It's a challenge to find something that's specific to the actual Hummer, which was the civilian version of this vehicle. And again, this did not. I don't think this was even offered on the Alpha models in 2006, but I think they're pretty cool. So I just wanted to give it a shot. My current one is just kind of like slapped on there, and it's never really straight. You see it kind of leans a little bit. So I want to come up with something that's as close to OEM as possible. And looking at that OEM one, it's very, very interesting because it kind of has this hoist system, and you got to like wrench it down and wrench it up and swivel it. So we'll see how this actually goes. Next up, I'll rotate to the front here. On the Hummer H1s, they're known for their width, and as a result of that, any vehicle that size, if it's a commercial, if it's that size, you're required to have like these 3 lights on the front as if it's a commercial vehicle. Based on the way I designed my my version here, there's this Connex joint. I don't even know what this is called in Connex world. I just call it a yellow. It's not a yellow rod. It's just a yellow Connex joint, whatever it is, or 3-piece. How, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, the community will start to join and get more engaged in my videos, and someone correct me or give me their version. We're all compare notes. We don't know. To represent those lights, I have the orange pieces here. If you all can kind of like see those at the angle, they're kind of protruding. But I only have 2 on the side because of this design, and I want to do something that's in the middle. So I have a pretty good idea of how I want to go about achieving that. So again, I'm just going to be going about this the best way that I can. I've gotten a few pieces out of my Connex box that I think will work for this because I didn't want to spend a large part of this video and really having to edit out all the noise from a Connex box. I'll just kind of do that here in the background. If all the Connexperts out there know exactly what I mean. So I've gotten it. I think I have an idea of the types of pieces I'm going to use here, but no guarantee. You might hear some Connex box noises here as we try to like work through it. Okay, so with that said, I think let's go ahead and get started. Oh, one more thing. I think when I make that adjustment with the light, I might create the foundation for like some mock windshield wipers. I don't know if we're going to be able to achieve that today. We could save that for another video. At some point, I know I need to do a full front end tear down and rebuild just to be able to fit the future state things that I want to do with the winch and the larger wheels. It's a whole lot of things because the front end needs to be optimized and upgraded just to be able to take some of these things that I want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First of which, let's see how it just kind of comes off. And today, again, look at it. It's kind of shabby. Again, I don't want the one that sits up in the back of the bed. I thought those were pretty interesting, pretty cool, but not really what I'm looking for this design. So let's just go ahead and snap it off here. And then it'll also make it easier for the trunk to open and close a little bit more if we can get something that swings out of the way. So just so that you all can can see that from this side exactly where we're going to be doing the work. Take a look at that. That should be able to sit down without any issues in the future, although it's kind of a little bit off there. I did have to do a little bit of snipping on some of these parts for them to fit. So if you look closer, my long red rod here is missing the edges so that it can fit within this bumper. So it should be pretty interesting. And that's going to create an interesting challenge for us with the spare tire piece. So we got to see, because I want it to sit right here. So in order to test it, I want to use one of these gray V joints, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. So let's at least figure out if we're going to get the clearance. I'm going to apply a blue rod to it just to start and see if that at least gives us the clearance that we want and that the trunk can still open up and close. Yeah, that's not bad. So it's giving us something. Gosh, I don't know if I like it sticking out that far though. That's pretty interesting. I think I got some other things going on with the frame. So let's totally remove the piece that was holding it before. At least get that out of here. And we'll see if we can keep it simple. And based on how that turns out, we might want to go make it more sophisticated and chance it a little bit more. See, yeah, look at that. I made an adjustment and it's not opening the way that I want. So this might require us to redesign this bumper a little bit too. So let's take a look at it. Let's remove that for now. I kind of think I want to have it like sitting on the inside here. So there's this white rod that might disrupt it. The silence is because I'm already stumped. What, a few minutes into this video? Is this how I want to do it? I don't know. I don't know if I want to have it sitting out this far. Let's kind of like look at that. You know, that's not bad. I kind of want it to be a bit flush. So maybe it's just a matter of, I could snip the white here or go with one that's already snipped or entirely remove it. So yeah, I said I'm not going to be moving connects around, but yet here I go. Give me a moment here. And I guess I should show you all this action here, right? Here is one of my old Connects boxes from when I was a kid. Like, it's crazy. So I keep a lot of parts in here. So this should be pretty interesting, trying to find the piece that I'm looking for. Ideally, I want to find a piece that I cut long ago that would fit right here. So let's see what I got here. You know how these small pieces go to the bottom? Oh, look, one just fell out. Check this out. It's a black rod that is snipped here. So I like the symmetry. We like our reflexive property in my household. So if I switch to the black one on this side, I'm likely going to need to switch to the black one on the other side. But I think that'll give me the clearance that I need. The challenge here is pulling this apart. Oh, I guess that was kind of anticlimactic. It wasn't much of a challenge, was it? So I'm going to... So as you see, you saw the white one here. I removed it just by pulling it out, snapping it, unsnapping it. And now I'm going to go with the snipped edge. And I guess before I do that, let's see what it's like to apply this gray rod in here. This could be pretty interesting. So I'm going to slide out part of the bumper. So, oh yeah, we're really moving now, right? So let's slide this piece over. Slide the bumper gray rod. I know I'm not describing this well, but just bear with me here. And then put that back here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Can you see it out there? It's sitting pretty flush. It's not protruding in a way that's very disruptive. I think this gives us a pretty good foundation. I wonder what I'm going, where I might regret it is I've only installed one. Is that going to be sturdy enough? I don't know. Should we design for it and make that change now while we're in the middle of it? Or should we figure that out separately? Let's go ahead and give it a try. Luckily, this wheel isn't too heavy. And there's a green on the back to where we could probably just swivel it and make it easy. I think I might take the safe route out here and make it simple. But let me go ahead and zoom down a little bit here so that you all can see. And let's reinstall this piece here. And this is hopefully going to go in very easily. It's not going in easy, partially. Oh my gosh. It brings back so many memories of my hands hurting from playing around with these things. Okay, look at that. I think we kind of got the clearance that we need. It's going to be really, really important that we get another snipped, shaved piece over here to the right. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you all can see what I'm seeing here. It's just looking very I'll sit it down. It's just looking really unnatural. You probably can't show up well on the video, but I can tell it looks it's not as flush as I want, but snipping this piece here will be super, super helpful, and that'll go a long way. But yeah, right now I'm comfortable with the way the trunk is opening and closing, the truck cover, whatever it is called, whatever. So let's just go from here. And then let's pull this in. So that gets us started. Now we can begin to develop our system here. I think I'm gonna keep it pretty simple at this stage. And let's go with, I don't know, should I keep it simple? Should I do something more interesting? So we have a pretty good mount there. I think I'm gonna go with a couple of different things here. So I like the blue rod. I think that works, but let's challenge ourselves to get a little bit creative and do some type of like multi-stage holder. So currently I would like to go with, got these gray connectors here, replace the blue one with that. And I think that gives us a bit more of an opportunity. Hopefully I'm putting it in a way to where this is important. Sometimes how you mount things can impact how rigid it is. So as it's moving, is this the best way to do it right? Do I start it there? Do I start it here? Like, see what I mean? Is it, where's the weight really going to be on this thing? Am I mounting it here? Or do I need to do it in this way? Probably not important to everyone, but it's one of those things that I know makes a difference. So let's take a look at how that swivels out of the way. And that might be a bad idea. Like, look at it, how it's already creating a problem for us. I don't know, it shouldn't. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the blue for now. So maybe I'm setting the seeds for a future video where we're going to upgrade the upgrade, right? But I think this is a really, 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 really good start. I'm trying to figure out what I want there. I think an orange would be interesting. And maybe some kind of a red here. Doing it this way, I can tell I'm already perhaps setting myself up for failure because the lengths aren't close to one another. So maybe we can figure something else out there. Hopefully I'm articulating this correctly, right? If I have two things that are not the same length, I'm already going to have to compensate by creating all these extra pieces that I hope will like match up with it, right? Now you're going to need like a smaller black rod there when I can truly just figure it out utilizing something that's already starting from the same length. So let's dig into the Connects box again for another piece. getting some ideas. There's a couple of things we could do to stabilize this. So I think I want to go with this one. I want to do that here, but ooh, the gray worries me because it could swing too freely. Plus, it could move around in a way that I would not like. So let's stabilize it using one of these like beige pieces. So take a look at that. Does it get out of the way? We got some clearance issues there. We might have to rethink this trunk a little bit, but I like it a lot right now, and I really don't want to change it, but I really want to have a cool spare tire system. So let's see how we can make this work. Already, I think we have the foundation for something that's pretty useful. Let's go with a black rod here. Take a look at that. I think from there we just need to like stabilize it. So let me find a few other, maybe another black piece, another yellow connector, or whatever, if we can find one easily. I don't know, maybe this might be a highly rated segment of me digging in the Connects box, trying to find a piece. Look at that. This would have been perfect, but it's kind of broken on the end. A lot of my pieces are really, really old. I think I got my first box of Connects like in 1996, or it could have been 95. I don't recall. But these are the exact same pieces that I've had. So you're going to find a lot of them that have kind of like broken a little. I still buy quite a few off of eBay. Not as much recently, but when I first got back into it, I was like bidding with the best of them. I might get into some eBay part selling at some point. So let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. I just want a yellow like that. Maybe I can make the broken piece work. Oh, we got the black crispy there. That could be useful. Oh, I gotta like pull that over another box real quick. I think I'm gonna borrow it off of something else. So here we go. Let's apply this. Give me one moment here. Here we go. Now I'm looking for the small black rods. I gotta get used to recording here. This is pretty interesting. So check this out. Pretty simple design. Just want to apply that here. And maybe I do it in a very interesting way. Check that out. It's silly enough to work. This is not something I would usually. One, naturally you want to connect those two, right? But it's semi-connecting. So let's see how that folds. How does that look? What do you all think? It's so flimsy looking though. It doesn't scream, Hummer and beefy and all of that, and just sturdy and reliable. So I got to do something different here. But maybe this is a good start, and we'll just keep this going. So how about this? Let's see how that opens up. Not bad. Let's see what this is like, and what's the best way to lock it? Well, look at that. Not my best work, but I think it gets by for a build-along video. I think we'll be putting some more time into like optimizing this in the future, but it kind of achieves what I need. It folds out the way. No, it's not the OEM design with the cranker or something like that, but I think we can get there in the future. But we got a little bit of work to do when it comes to this trunk lid and making this a bit more flush. But there we go. Look at that. Did that require 20 minutes? Probably not, but I think it's pretty interesting and it works. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Next up, do we want to go ahead and tackle the windshield? I think I might save that for next time. This video is already long enough. We'll see if I regret it based on any comments or feedback on not just doing it, but I do have an idea. So let me just, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I know it's a long video, but let's go for it. One of the things I want to change here is I wanted to currently have the yellow rods here, right? And hopefully this shouldn't take much more than 5 minutes. I want to go for gray, a darker piece here, darker connector rod, perhaps a black. And then in the future state, this connector piece will set the foundation for where the windshield wipers will be. Hopefully, if I can get that lined up correctly, I'm going to need to do like some pretty quick stabilizing there. But I have a pretty good vision on how I want that to go. The challenge will be like trying to mount these things in this small space. That's like already a challenge. All right, so let's just go for it. We're here. I got a couple of rods and things on the side. Looking for a little bit more. Okay. This should be relatively easy to deconstruct. The challenge will really be trying to place these in here. So let's remove the current lights. I don't know what's a better view here. Let's take off these rods, unsnap that one. I think the front view makes the most sense. Okay, oh, look at it. It's crazy work, right? And now let's go ahead and install these. Well, before we install these, I want to put the new front window dividers in. This is the part that scares me the most, because if this doesn't go in and it starts like falling in the car, we're gonna be here for a while. So I don't even know any other way to approach this. So take a look at my challenge here, team. I am trying to mount this rod like in between here, right? You get it? It needs to like snap under there. And I don't want to start disassembling all of this to do it. Maybe it could mount to this bracket here, but that's not like the safest point. You're getting to like interior pieces. So let's check this out. I might unsnap a couple of small pieces just to get there. Wish me luck. Here's one of those things from like, you start them and you wish you hadn't started it. So let's remove this piece. We can put that back. This will just give us a little bit more room to work. It's like a couple of trim pieces. We can put those back easily. And I think we can unsnap this. Oh yeah, look at that. That huge console that divides Hummers. You know, this is like the front end, the divides interior. So this is that one. And look at that. It was super easy, barely an inconvenience. And let's see how that works out. And this should allow us to slide in the gray piece. And I really wanted to do it this way with like some space in between. Oh yeah, look at that. In fact, I think it's more space than I really need at this point. So that's good. Let's install our trim piece back in here, because that's essential to the Hummer interior. It's interesting that I didn't have that like locked down. I might got to check on that in the future and do a little bit of hardening there. Let's put our other interior piece back in here. Ooh, I'm glad we got out safe on this one, because that could have been... Uh-oh. Okay, got that in. That could have really been a concern for us here. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that snaps in. Yep, that looks good. We need the other, so we gotta like show you the H1 that I'm looking at. That's what I mean. These 3 orange lights there, right? So let's just apply the other pieces here. Not bad. We should probably change that to a darker piece at some point, just for getting the symmetry and the look right. But check that out. Not looking bad. And now we got the orange required, the lights that are required by law here, because we are wide enough to be a commercial vehicle. What do you think? How does it look from the side? That's pretty cool. How about this one? I think it can. I think it's come out the way I was really looking for. I like it. I might need to add like another orange here at some point, but gosh, you see this assembly at the top is pretty intense. Maybe adding an orange here will kind of keep these stable. There's other ways to achieve that. Probably putting a beige here, beige there. We can get there. But I think this is plenty for this evening. So I'm pretty pleased. This is my first build along video, and it went fairly well. At least generally this part did. A little bit more work to do when it comes to the spare tire carrier. I might do some things offline or continue to refine it, but this is a good start. Yes, I'm acknowledging it's a little bit flimsy. We can do better, but that's the engineering process. Let's continue to iterate. Let's learn from it. But as of right now, we got a spare tire that can fold out of the way. Look at that. Fun times. All right, so that's the first build video. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you appreciate it. Let me know if you're looking for more and what else we should do. There's a whole lot more that I want to do to this car. I got like 3 or 4 other cars that you all aren't aware of. I got a boat. I got some really, really interesting things here. So till next time, I hope you all have a good night and a good week.